shootout later on. They are coming right next up here before the after the X30 Pro Seniors are set to go. Again, that makes our top 12. Paulie Massimino, Connor Zilisch, Cole Morgan, Tyler Wettengel, Alex Stanfield, Emery Lyda, Nolan Allison, Brandon Lemke, promoters option drivers, Gavin Bailiff, Hayden Jones, and we've got one more, a hard luck award for the hard charger in that race. Aiden Levy is going to get the 13th and final spot here in the KA shootout, along with the two drivers we just drew out of the hat. The fans' choice, or random choice, I should say, Colin Hayes, Connor Ferris. Now let's focus on the field. X30 Pro Senior is green.
Down into turn one, they're going to get themselves sorted out. Looks like they may span out 3 wide. Everyone's going to go side by side. No one goes off into turn 1 or 2. Making the way back up the hill towards turns 3 and 4. We got one way off the track. Falls all the way down through the field. I got lost in the sun. It looked to be a white Tony
That
car.
was Dalton Haynes, your pole sitter, all the way off the racetrack in turn number 3. Tried to hang it around the outside, got shuffled wide. The local kid qualified out in front of the national factory level drivers, and Brandon Jarsocrak, the 4-time U.S. Pro Kart Series champ, leads the way out of turn number 8. Paulie Massimino is second. Norberg is third. Nathaniel Cicero is fourth. Weston Workman rounds your top 5 under heavy pressure from Connor Zilisch, Hayden Jones, Tyler Wettengel, and Braden Eves in the MPG Motorsports Will Power Kart. No, that's Kiffin Simpson. Kiffin Simpson in the other Will Power Kart there at the edge of the top 10.
It looks like a dive bomb by Ryan Norberg on Paulie Massimino. Moves up into P number 2. Massimino goes to the back bumper of Norberg as he is now trying to make the drive to catch back up to Braden Jarsocrak as they are now making the way towards the sweeper once more. As they make their way down towards the run at turn number 5. Nose to tail, bumper to bumper. They are now pushing each other. Norberg getting all sorts of help from P number 3 of Paulie Massimino, crossing the way down into the hairpin. No one is going to try to dive bomb. They're going to keep it single file. Top through slowly starting to pull away, but it looks like there's another 2 carts forming in the 4th and 5th spot of Nathan Cicero and Weston Workman running 4th and 5th. They are nose to tail trying to pull back up to your leaders.
Pass for the lead. Paulie Massimino takes it, and he goes way wide out of the final turn. Overshot. No, that was Norberg. Massimino going to follow Jarsocrak to the inside. Massimino to the lead in turn 1. That was Ryan Norberg, Massimino, Jarsocrak. They're all stacked up at the front of the field. 10 drivers strong in X30 Pro Senior down the back straightaway. Massimino takes the train to the bottom side. It is Massimino, Jarsocrak, Norberg, Cicero, the top 4. What a fight here to start heat number 1 for the X30 Pro Seniors. These guys are all fighting because they need points both to get themselves in a good spot for Sunday, but to make sure they're in the top 8 to transfer to the MG Tires X30 shootout. There goes Jarsocrak. He's by on Massimino. Norberg puts Massimino in the dirt, and Connor Zilisch is now into 4th. And oh, we've got drivers spinning in the back of the field. Cole Morgan gets turned around.
If you look up the definition of hectic, you're going to look up this race right now. We are not even 5 laps in, and they are all over the place, trying to keep a train going straight. And here comes Norberg, raising a number 1 finger, slips it down onto the inside of Jarsocrak, and he is now going to take point. I'm sure Jarsocrak is now going to try to come right back around him, although he loses a little bit of time out of the 3rd corner, heading into the sweeper. It is going to be Norberg, your new leader. Jarsocrak running now in 2nd. Zilisch, I believe, is in 3rd. Workman 4th. Massimino into P number 5. Everyone going to try to get into a train as they make their way into the hairpin once more.
That is a little bit of attitude there, right, between the 2 heavyweights in the X30 Pro class, the 2 veterans. Brandon Jarsocrak, Ryan Norberg, the only 2 4-time consecutive national pro champions in the modern era, and Norberg across the line, a little wag of the finger at Brandon Jarsocrak as he went back by him. He was not happy with how quickly Jarsocrak fought by, did not want to fight in the midfield. He wants to pull away, and Jarsocrak going to work now, taking a deep breath as Connor Zilisch in 3rd is the quickest driver on the racetrack, 48.420 for Connor Zilisch. Brandon Jarsocrak lost about 3 kart lengths to Norberg that time by. Let's see it here. Brandon Jarsocrak down the back straightaway. A kart length up on Zilisch. Zilisch will close in. Both drivers that time by were kind of even to Norberg. They lost about a 0.5 in terms of Jarsocrak. Zilisch was able to match him. So he stayed right at about 9/10 back of it. And now he's close enough. Look for it. Maybe turn 8 this time. Half a kart back. No, sir. He'll stay in line behind the number 38, Mike Doty Racing Cosmic. Let's look at, oh man, it is getting hectic in the midfield there just behind your hairpin. We're trying to wait on this battle for 2nd to form, but it is just all out fighting. Braden Eves is in a massive battle with Dalton Haynes. Haynes has got a messed up side pod. They're still fighting. Cicero is back. Look at this all the way through down the front straightaway. This massive group for 6 or 7. Great recovery drive for Dalton Haynes to come back to the field. He's gone purple at a 48 flat. back up to the battle for P2 and P3. Braden Jarsocrak, again, 2 kart lengths ahead of Connor Zilisch. No real change in terms of any ground made up on Ryan Norberg. They're about a tenth and a half to find here in the pro heat race so far. Weston Workman is still close there back in the 4th spot. Here comes Zilisch. He's going to go for it. He'll get through. Jarsocrak going to kind of let him on by, not really fight him too hard for it. Again, these guys know they're pacing themselves, pacing the tires early in the weekend here. Plenty of time to come and plenty more time to find more speed and go for heat race wins, because it's 3 laps to go this time. They're not going to catch Ryan Norberg, who is way out in front. Connor Zilisch leads a 3-kart group now in second, with Jarsocrak, Weston Workman behind him. And again, at the edge of your top 5, Massimino has escaped a massive fray with Hayden Jones and Tyler Wettengel. Checkered flag coming this time by Ryan Norberg will take heat number 1 here in the X30 Pro class. Coasts across the line. Zilisch, Jarsocrak, Workman, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Paulie Massimino rounds your top 5. Just ahead of Hayden Jones, you mentioned, and Wettengel. Haynes ends up 4th. Nathaniel Cicero, 9th, behind Dalton Haynes there in 8th, and Braden Eves rounds out the top 10. Well, here they come down the front straightaway. Dalton Haynes, Brandon Jarsocrak, they're early on the power. They're going to get the green this time, and you can bet Dalton Haynes was going to go early here today. Yesterday, he got caught sleeping, and Jarsocrak got the jump on him from the outside. They'll rock it up the hill, down the backstretch here first time. Haynes to the lead. Ryan Norberg's dropped into 3rd behind his teammate Nathaniel Cicero as they work their way through turn 4 for the first time. Here they come to the chicane. Everyone makes it through. Look at Connor Zilisch. Whoa, big dive bomb. That was on Weston Workman for the 5th spot, and Workman's under heavy fire. Massimino gets by. Big crash in the back of the field. That's back by the chicane. 2 drivers stuck together. They'll try and get cleared here as your leader at the end of lap 1 is Dalton Haynes in the blacked out Tony kart. The little 3-driver breakaway up front. Dalton Haynes, 2 kart lengths back to Nathaniel Cicero. He's under a little pressure from his teammate Ryan Norberg. Norberg's going to have a chance in turn 4. He'll stay tucked in line. The next 2 karts behind them, Brandon Jarsocrak, 4-time U.S. Pro Kart Series champ. And Norberg got him.
Good move.
Man, that was a good one. Here comes Jarsocrak too.
Jarsocrak up the inside. That was a risky move going to that chicane.
He has cut his way all the way up, and I believe he's in the 5th position. Already moved up 2 spots within 2 laps. He is slowly starting to reel in, but look for Norberg running at P2. He got up to the
what
front,
a move there. Connor Zilisch just put Nathaniel Cicero. He's in the grass. Cicero got caught way off guard by that. He's way off. Look, he's already dropped back a number of positions. Zilisch up into 4th, and just like that, one of the 2 rookies get shuffled there. And, I mean, you see it. It's no different than in any kind of racing, Will. The new kids on the block, they get shuffled a little bit before they earn their stripes and respect.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zilisch is a master at racecraft. This guy's watched him yesterday chop through the field in both classes in X30 and KA. So he's doing what he normally does, and you'll guarantee you'll see him right at the front at the end here.
Here he comes. Look at that, Will. I know you're eyeing that as well. Norberg's right within half a cart there of Haynes coming through the chicane. He's sizing him up right now. The kid trying to pull away. Oh, a little drop wheel. That's a mistake. That'll make him sideways.
Looks like Haynes' tires have gone off a little bit. I can see him loose through this chicane right in front of us here. And he might have started on higher pressures to get a gap and starting to pay for it a little bit now.
Now, good move right there up the hill to turn number 3. You saw Haynes go to the center of the racetrack. Right after he dropped a wheel, got sideways in turn 1. He knows they're there. He blocked it off. And Norberg's got to come under pressure from Jarsocrak. Look at that move. Brandon Jarsocrak to 2nd.
That's a nice move there. Looks like Norberg made a little mistake over that curb. See the gap that Haynes pulled when he took a lot more curve than Norberg.
But look who's right behind Norberg, starting the 7th spots now. Connor Zilisch all the way. I believe he is into the 4th spot, tearing through this field in the start. We're halfway this time by. 8 laps to go. I think he may be slowly starting to climb his way up to the field, possibly up into a podium.
They get a lot more information, and I know from my team, with the data you look at, you get so many driving details as well. And I think for Haynes to be leading this just as a single car privateer he's doing a fantastic job. Really, it's not a whole team. It's just him. Here goes Norberg again up the inside of the hairpin there. Good move. Jarsocrak fighting him back.
Good little recovery from Ryan Norberg that time. Now he's tucked his head behind the wheel, took a look back. He saw Jarsocrak. Okay, let's go. 2/10 clear. He's right on the bumper. He should be close enough if he can get a good run through the chicane. Maybe a dive over into turn number 8 this time.
Yeah, it looks like Haynes is going to be holding on for dear life. Norberg, I don't know what happened. He kind of fell back into 3rd. Now he's up into 2nd. maybe possibly trying to go on a tear right now to catch back up to him and get around him as they make their way out of the chicane. You can just see how much of that curve they're taking out of it. Now Haynes goes down to the inside to fins into turn 1, and Norberg now set up in a beautiful spot, but Jarsocrak right now in the 3rd position.
Oh,
really
big problems back in the field. That's Weston Workman and Tyler Wettengel that just got together off the racetrack. Meanwhile, up front, still Dalton Haynes. He's backing him up, as we mentioned here. Looks like the drivers near the back have gotten going, but your leaders through the chicane, and with Haynes blocking already. Now, he's got to do it, 3 to go this time by, yellow this time, so they can't pass into 8, I don't believe. That'll make them single file. Look at Zilisch.
Oh, Zilisch on the outside.
What a move attempt.
Man. He's been all over the back of this group.
So close here, the racing, but 3 to go. The blocking's going to start here. We already saw Haynes throw a couple. He's got it backed up now. With all how hungry these guys are, every heat position point matters. They're all 1 point apiece in terms of setting up the starting grid for the pre-final and overall the grid for the final. So if Haynes backs them up and they fight for second, they're going to fight because that point will still matter. And look at that. Oh, my goodness.
That's
3 wide.
3 wide.
Oh, is Haynes damaged?
And here comes Zilisch now up into the 3rd spot. He is now trying to get on the back bumper, Norberg.
Norberg had enough of the blocking. He caught him by surprise, and Brandon Jarsocrak leads with 2 to go. They're going to stay single file. White flag this time. Look at Norberg. Went in deep there into 8. Haynes is getting past again. He's got a problem. Oh, no.
Man.
Dalton Haynes out here in turn number 8, here in heat number 2, and you can see the disappointment for that kid. He's had such a good week so far. It's not over. All the heats are still going to come, but that takes him out of it. Back up front here, Will.
Yeah, man, that's a pity for Dalton. He's had 2 bad races now, but like you say, he gets to start on pole for the rest.
Let's see it here. Half a lap to go. Here we go. Final time into the hairpin. Jarsocrak will cover the bottom. Norberg does as well.
There's Zilisch around the outside.
Trying, not going to get there. Brandon Jarsocrak, Heat 2 winner.
Oh, nice race.
What a run to the line there. What a good bit of excitement from our headline class, the X30 Senior Pros. Your driver there, Kiffin Simpson, getting there. He picked up 5 spots, P7.
Very nice.
And talking off camera, going over the format once again here with you, Will, as we get started. All 3 of these heats factor in. 50% of your heat points, 50% of your pre-final spot sets your final. Let's set the pre-final here as we're green to turn 1. Couple drivers early on the inside. Connor Zilisch was down on the curbing. I think he might have picked up a spot or 2, but they're all clean down the backstretch. Haynes, Jarsocrak, Cicero, your top 3 to turn number 4.
Looks like they've all got themselves single file coming out of turn 4, heading over into the chicane once more. It looks like no one's going to try to dive bomb it. Going through the mid-pack. I think everyone's going to make it through fairly cleanly. No one goes off the track.
Change for the lead. Jarsocrak, great move there on Haynes to go on by.
Oh, Haynes giving him a bit of a bump into the hairpin there. Hope he doesn't get a bumper penalty for that.
Heat 2 winner here likes this new layout here on the chicane. And you'd think Jarsocrak, a driver who drove for the Kart Sport North America, originally Praga North America, and then Kart Republic factory team for the last few years. All the laps here, as Cicero goes to second, Jarsocrak will be the best guy on the main layout, but right now he looks better on the alternate layout here this weekend. That's a good point here, Will, and we go into that Mickey Mouse section as you've talked about, that turn 5, 6, and 7 chicane. And this is where they're all stacking up behind Haynes. Oh, Norberg's up. Haynes is off
Haynes
again.
Is off again. Man, I feel bad for that guy.
Oh, my God.
Such a rotten weekend.
The bad weekend goes to worse. Nathaniel Cicero also got hurt majorly in that because he got put on top. Norberg, his teammate, went on top of him as well as they climbed the hill towards turn number 3. There's Haynes again. Just a rough weekend here for the number 17. But back up front, your leaders are headed down the back straightaway.
It's horrible to see what happened to Haynes. He was doing such good in the race. He is now parked in the track, but because of that, it is now backed up the field, and I believe there's something happened over the chicane.
Kiffin Simpson got really shuffled back there badly here. He's all the way back behind his Will Power Kart teammate in Braden Eves. Both drivers down the order. There's Cicero on screen, trying to go by his RPG teammate, Brian Boley. Everyone's trying to figure out, get comfortable with the new passing zones. I mean, you know this, Will. IndyCar puts a new street course. They got a new street course next week in Nashville. And for those first couple practice sessions, obviously, even when you get in the race, you're going to be a little bit sketched out on some of those passing zones. You think when you look at the track, you walk it, this is where I can pass, this is where I cannot. But when you get out there, that's when you really find out trial by fire.
Yeah, you just don't know. And obviously, usually you have the history of the years before of the race, and you understand where you can make a move and where you can't. So, yeah, in this layout, everyone's kind of learning, as you can see, which sometimes turns into a bit of a disaster. But, looks like a lot of fun.
New set for the main, so Brandon Jarsocrak, he might have been in tire conservation mode. The bad news, Connor Zilisch is getting close to striking distance now.
Yeah, Zilisch has closed up a lot, and I think Norberg also is closing up to Zilisch, and Jarsocrak. So, but you might be right. I mean, Jarsocrak's probably thinking down the road a bit, save the tyres. They've got to do a lot of miles before they put new ones on for the final.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with it. Zilisch is right there. In fact, down the back straightaway, headed to turn number 4. And we just had a change in the lead. They'll catch it when we catch them coming out of 4. Connor Zilisch, your new leader, headed to turn number 5 and 6. Jarsocrak back to second. And coming into the picture just at the end there, that's Norberg, Massimino. They were both 4/10 quicker than Jarsocrak last time by. So it's Flipper Zilisch, Connor Zilisch, working his way around. 5 to go here for your leaders in X30 Pro, and it's a new leader for the first time here on Saturday. Yeah, looking at this final lap here, Will, you can see Norberg's closing in. We talked off camera right before this, breaking down the format. It does pay Norberg benefit, not just as better starting position for the pre-final. These heats still factor into where you start that main event. He's going to be digging this final lap, and he's in the tow, and Jarsocrak is so far back from Zilisch, he's giving more tow to Norberg than he's getting it from Zilisch.
Yeah, Norberg, if he gets close enough, might have a shot at the hairpin, but I think he'll be, I mean, the top 4 are all very smart drivers. I think Paulie's decided that he's going to save his tires.
Let's see, Jarsocrak kind of covers. Norberg, a little bump. Not going to get there. Connor Zilisch will take the heat win. Jarsocrak second, Norberg third, Massimino fourth. Hayden Jones rounds the top 5. Into the tram lines. Nice and clean. First attempt. It looks fantastic. Green flag. We're racing down to turn number 1 for X30 Pro in the pre-final. Everyone will make it through cleanly here this time as they climb the hill towards turn number 3. Over, through, down the back straightaway to turn number 4. Jarsocrak leads them. Big charge down the inside here is Zilisch running with Ryan Norberg right there. Paulie Massimino loses a little bit of time. Watching them all come through over here, over by turn number 4. Again, fantastic run off the bat for Brandon Jarsocrak, along with Paulie Massimino. They've got a nice little jump going through the hairpin here this time, but Connor Zilisch was able to jump both of them, get into second, and as he's going to complete the first lap here, Austin, they are all lined up. This is still plenty to play for.
Yeah, and it's an 18-lap race, so seeing who's going to be the comers and goers with tire testers, because you still have to work your tires in these first 2-3 laps, so it's interesting. When I came here last time for a race event, I was actually tuning for Will Power, and it was really crazy how much the tire builds really changed, who was strong throughout a run. So throughout these 18 laps, I think it'll be important to see as you got to pass for the lead.
It's definitely going to be crazy here. Brandon Jarsocrak back on Connor Zilisch. He's able to go on by. So Brandon Jarsocrak back to the lead. Connor Zilisch is back to second as they come on through turn number 6 through 7. Jarsocrak wants to stay in front. He'll take the train down to the inside. Norberg in third will follow to the bottom. Look at that, Paulie Massimino. He's made up a couple spots, went through into 4th. Hayden Jones is 5th as they work their way through turn number 9. All single file. Look at that big train of go-karts. That's only back to about 15th with Tyler Wettengel and Cole Morgan at the end of the line. And there's a pass there into 9, or into 11. Kiffin Simpson and Braden Eves, the Will Power Cars, just moved up another spot. There goes Zilisch back to the lead. Norberg trying to get by. He can't do it also. Massimino's going to shove him through to turn number 9. Connor Zilisch, Brandon Jarsocrak, Ryan Norberg, Paulie Massimino 4th, Hayden Jones is 5th, Cesaro 6th. They're still feeling each other out. It's a long session here, 18 laps. That's longer than a lot of the local races run for their main events, Austin.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, they're still in the 49s right now. I expect these guys to be quite a bit quicker in a few laps. So tires are still coming up to temp, and it'll be interesting to see who's going to fall off here and who's going to keep it up.
Yeah, definitely there. Oh, we got problems for Cole Morgan on the front straightaway. He is over in the access road. Problems for the number 9, 63. Unfortunate here for Cole Morgan. Also, big time improvement. Look at this, Austin. We just got an update. The GoPro, MG Tires, and IAME USA have bumped the purse up $7,000 now to win the X30 Pro Main instead of $5,000. This was just like last night for you watching the stream. We bumped up from $2,000 to $5,000. It's now $7,000 to the winner in the X30 Pro Main event. $4,000 now the new purse for the X30 Juniors. Wild stuff. The X30 Juniors got a lot more to run for, and the X30 Seniors just got $2,000 added onto the purse.
Tell you what, don't tell the guys out there on track that. They still got another final to go into, so this is awesome. To have that kind of a purse for a go-kart race obviously speaks volumes to this facility and obviously the competitors that have come out for this weekend. So that's pretty exciting. I mean, that's big money. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
You can do a lot
right
with
there.
$7,000.
I'm sure you're wishing you could be out there right
you
now,
can buy
man.
a full new go-kart with $7,000 and then some. So that's awesome. That's pretty exciting.
Then we went to the short track on Saturday, and it was an all-out brawl. And now it's an all-out brawl here in X30 Pro on Sunday. The pre-final, Jarsocrak the leader. He's got so many laps here, but Ryan Norberg in the pro national karting season between all the major events, Austin. Ryan Norberg's won 4 out of the last 6 mains, and now he just took over the lead in turn 4.
Yeah, Norberg got a really great run out of turn 1 and was able to get the draft perfectly out of turn 2 there. So I like that in his kart because that leads into one of the more important passing zones. So I'd be interested to see how that develops and how these guys are able to respond to that.
And Mr. $5,000 winner of the MG Tires X30 shootout last night, Paulie Massimino into second. Jarsocrak just lost 2 more there in turn 8. Paulie Massimino has been phenomenal here this season. Look at that, good run out of turn number 8. Closes up again. He is right there. He'll be in position to make a move, but Norberg is going to get the signal. 2 laps to go by the head flagman with the double sticks. He'll know that he's going to probably have to start defending here these final few laps. They've broken away with that big impact for Jones. Zilisch moves into third. He's a couple seconds back. 2 to go this time here. Massimino not close enough in 1. I don't even know if he'll get close enough down the backstretch. Norberg was really good there out of turn number 11. And even in these karts, you get a tiny bit of aero wash with the bodywork they've got. It's tough to run right behind someone that is hitting their marks perfectly like Ryan Norberg right now.
Yeah, that gap closed down to about 2 car lengths with that draft on the back straightaway, so Paulie's going to have to be closer on this last lap if he's wanting to make his move into the bold.
Turn number 9, no real changes through the field. Ryan Norberg is going to lead them out of turn number 9. $7,000 the updated purse. He's going to get to be able to punch his ticket to the pole and lead the field to the green for the 24-lap final. Norberg wins the pre-final. We are back here live in the booth. I'm joined by NTT IndyCar Series champion and Indy 500 champion Will Power. To my right, NASCAR Cup Series driver for Team Penske, also Austin Cindric. Guys, we are in for a treat. $7,000 to the winner of X30 Pro. Austin joined me for the pre-final. Will joined me for a lot of the racing yesterday.
When you think about Massimino, he can go away with 12 grand.
That's a
he
big
won last
payday.
the 5 last night.
I'd jump a
so
start for 12 grand.
He could have a really good weekend here.
Let's see it. Will we get it? Green flag. And the main event of the weekend is underway to turn number 1. Will we all? Oh, my goodness. Multiple drivers around in the
crash.
first corner.
Man.
Oh, man. Who was that? I think that's Nathaniel Cicero. Maybe that got turned over in the first turn and popped up in the air.
Norberg has a massive lead already, so almost game over, man. Almost game over.
And your guy, Braden Eves, how does he do it?
Oh,
Every single time the chaos erupts, he's into second.
It's good to see. It's good to see. Where's Kiffin?
Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. That's Tyler McIntyre into 4th. Brandon Jarsocrak, big loser there. He got shuffled halfway down the order. Massimino was there. Zilisch, I think, was trying to get it on Norberg. He's right behind Jarsocrak. They're in the middle of the field. It's a big lead for Ryan Norberg. Braden Eves is second. Has Norberg got it locked up here? 25 laps, 1 lap complete now, 24 to go. Big time lead for Ryan Norberg, 1.4 seconds.
Unless Massimino can get past Eves.
This battle for second's about to heat up.
Has a bit, a bit better kart, and Eves can push him along a bit. They might have a shot, but that's a big gap already, man.
Yeah, that's a big gap here. Ryan Norberg, not the quickest driver, as there goes Massimino. Eves going to let him by here. That's really their only shot.
Those 2 guys have got to work well together now and just push each other towards Norberg.
Let's see it here. Ryan Norberg, you don't get a lot of mistakes out of that guy. There's a reason he's a 4-time defending SuperKarts USA national champion in this X30 Pro class. He is so technically skilled here. Braden Eves, of course, has been really quick, but he's been missing a little bit most of the weekend. Massimino was able to play spoiler in that X30 shootout, take the $5 grand away yesterday, and now as he comes out of turn number 8 here, has a long way to go to chase the $7 grand up for grabs here as Ryan Norberg leads them out of turn number 9. The drivers we got on screen right now, this is the battle for 4th?
6th position.
6th position there.
Yeah,
you're right.
Jarsocrak there.
Dalton Haynes.
Actually, Jarsocrak and Haynes are both very quick. They just had bad heats, but especially Haynes. He was banking on having a good weekend. I spoke to him before the race, and he was wanting to. He wants to get over and race in Europe as soon as possible, so he's trying to get himself a ride for next year.
Whoa, Annunziata is off. That's in front of, there's water on the racetrack. Jarsocrak's off the racetrack.
Oh, man, that's
Commentator's curse.
Oh, my goodness, they are all out of the way here. Everyone trying to avoid it. Thomas Annunziata was running 4th. I think he overshot it, trying to catch up to Braden Eves there to get himself onto the podium. And now he is way back down the order.
That's a
48-209. He's 7 seconds back, so he won't get to the lead. He should be able to catch the battle for 3rd maybe as Eves is under fire.
Yep.
Tyler Wettengel is through and onto the podium provisionally.
Yeah, it looks like Wettengel's coming on really well.
Yeah,
Eves has slightly gone off a bit. I'm going to say that Haynes will probably catch Eves too here in the next 10 laps.
It should be a little bit. I think we got about 3 seconds back from Wettengel to Massimino. Wettengel's currently 6.5 back, but again, Dalton Haynes, local kid. Again, the other cool part we talk about with karting, right? You don't need a team of engineers. It helps to have guys who know what they're doing, and that's what it's about. But Dalton Haynes and his brother, they've learned trial by fire, and here he goes.
Up the inside.
Oh, what a pass there. Nicely done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little move there in turn number 1. And again, this kid, him and his brother, they're working together. You see them down late night over by their garage, working on their own
fast
go-kart.
lap too.
Yeah, 8-0, yeah.
48.0.
Yeah,
he's
he's
faster than anybody else.
He's the fastest guy on the track, and he's just an absolute privateer. He's got no money. They're doing what they can with what they got, and man, he is the fastest guy out there.
Simpson with a heavy impact over here in the infield. Cole Morgan's involved. Heavy contact there over at turn number 7. We've got them off the racetrack. That's one of your drivers. Simpson quickly out of the go-kart here on the final couple laps.
Yeah, I didn't see exactly what happened there. Yeah, it looked like his front tires popped. I heard it.
It was a big pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again as well,
I wonder if there's a water again.
I don't know. Let's see.
Water.
Final lap. Those barriers got hit. I think that's what the big boom was here in the paddock. But Ryan Norberg, final time on through turn number 8, guys. He has just been flawless. You got him, like you said, karting professional. He's a karting coach. He's got his own YouTube channel where he tries to coach young karters here, paying their way on up. They try to pick which team to go with. He's a huge marketing asset for RPG. He's also a huge operations asset. And you'll see him tonight tearing down the tent. But today, he tears down the racetrack. $7,000. Ryan Norberg wins the Pro Division.
Scaring the flagman.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool celebration there.